Hi, I'm Haley Evans, Vice President and Sales Manager of TriumphPay here in Dallas, Texas. TriumphPay is the nexus of billing and payments in the transportation industry. We process payments on behalf of brokers and shippers to carriers. Carriers love the TriumphPay platform because they can receive payments from all of their brokers and shippers in one place. One thing we heard from carriers is that it would be great for them to submit paperwork all in one place to all of their brokers and shippers. Earlier this year, we came out with the Carrier mobile application. We've recently partnered with HubTran to complete the end-to-end paperwork process and make it easier for carriers to submit paperwork, brokers to approve paperwork, and then carriers to get paid efficiently. I'm going to walk you through that process here and where it shows you in a matter of just minutes, a carrier can submit paperwork, a broker can approve it, and then if the carrier's defaulted to QuickPay, they'll get paid instantly. I'll walk you through that process now. I'm going to start by logging in. I'll use my same username and password that I used to log in to the TriumphPay web portal. So if you already have a TriumphPay account, there isn't anything new to sign up for. I have my fingerprint stored for easy sign-in. Once I sign in, I'm taken to the paperwork screen. I can see paperwork that has previously been submitted and approved. At the bottom, I can also see all my invoices, payments, and brokers. This information is also available on the TriumphPay web portal, as it is here. I'm going to create paperwork to invoice my broker now. I'll start by typing in my broker's name. If the load information is connected to TriumphPay, this will start auto-populating. It isn't, but I can simply type it in here. Then I'm going to complete the line haul number, which is $800, and I'll click Next. This will take me to the capture screen where I'll go ahead and start taking paperwork. Everything looks good, so I'll click Next. I'm going to choose rate confirmation for my doc type and click Next. Since I have an invoice, I'm going to go ahead and take another photo. This one didn't quite catch it, so I'm going to fix that real quick and then do done. I'll go ahead and doc type this as invoice and click Next. That's everything I want to add now. So I'll go Next and it'll show me the summary of charges here. It looks good to me. So I'll go ahead and go to my final page where I can see all of my documents and final charges. If I'm signed up for QuickPay, it'll show QuickPay here as well. I'm ready to go ahead and submit paperwork. It's been submitted, so I'll go back to paperwork. And now I can see the one at the very top was just recently submitted. So now I'll go into HubTran to process that, and then we'll come back here to this screen to see when it's been approved. This is the primary interface that your back office team will use when they're working in HubTran. At the top of the screen, you'll see their different workflow queues that represent where different loads are in your AP lifecycle. For example, there are 10 loads that are new. These are what your team will be focused on first. HubTran also has queues that holds loads that have exceptions, so you can manage those efficiently. Finally, you see there are queues that hold your communications with carriers when you're working on supporting documentation. HubTran also provides you with the ability to create custom filters for loads. Say you have a team that focuses on QuickPays or someone responsible for processing for a specific location. You can set those up to reflect your business's individual needs. For the sake of this demo, we'll focus on everything that's in the new queue. Each of these lines represents a load and supporting documentation received from a carrier. By and large, these will be emails received from carriers to your AP email address, but HubTran can consume this data in any number of ways. For example, HubTran receives these documents via API from TriumphPay, which we discussed earlier. Each line contains key information about the load: the subject of the email, the time and date it was received, the name of the carrier who sent it, and finally, the number of document pages and the load. Let's click on this load sent from A&A Brewers. On this screen, we see that HubTran's been able to find the carrier, customer, and load information. Click Continue to assign the automatically identified documents to the load. HubTran didn't find any exceptions with what's in the TMS and what's on the supporting document, So just click Save and Approve to settle the load in the TMS. With 3 clicks in just a few seconds, we were able to approve an invoice, send the documents to your TMS, and settle the load by ensuring you had correct invoice dates, amounts, and the invoice number. It's lightning fast. Now we'll go back to the TriumphPay mobile application to see that the paperwork has been approved. Now that my broker has processed my paperwork in HubTran, I'm back to this screen and I can refresh to see that it's been updated. And there we go. You can see the top one has shown as approved. So now I could also see if I have an invoice in here as well. If the broker had sent the invoice over, I would also see the invoice as approved. And if it was quick pay, then it would process today and I would be paid today or tomorrow, depending on when my broker approved my paperwork. Working with partners like HubTran to complete the end-to-end paperwork cycle for carriers and brokers brings us closer to our goal of real-time payments. It helps carriers submit paperwork, allows brokers to quickly approve, and gets carriers paid quickly. This reinforces the relationship between brokers and carriers because we're allowing brokers to pay carriers directly in exactly the way that carriers want to get paid. This is not the last update you'll see to the paperwork cycle as we continue to iterate and make real-time payments possible for brokers, shippers, and carriers.